McDonald's isn't a burger company, the Golden Arches. Over 100 countries, 40,000 plus restaurants, 70 million people served every single day. But here's what most people don't know. McDonald's doesn't really make money from burgers, or fries, or Happy Meals. Their real business? Real estate. And the story of how they got there involves two brilliant brothers, a traveling milkshake machine salesman, and $1 billion betrayal. This is how McDonald's became one of the largest landowners in the world, without you even noticing. McDonald's, the Golden Arches, over 100 countries, 40,000 plus restaurants, 70 million people served every single day. But here's what most people don't know. McDonald's doesn't really make money from burgers, or fries, or Happy Meals. Their real business? Real estate. And the story of how they got there involves two brilliant brothers, a traveling milkshake machine salesman, and $1 billion betrayal. This is how McDonald's became one of the largest landowners in the world, without you even noticing. It was never about fast food. Let's rewind to the beginning. 1937, San Bernardino, California. Two brothers, Richard and Maurice McDonald, better known as Dick and Mac, were running a small food stand called McDonald's Bar BQ. It wasn't fancy, it wasn't famous, but it was working. Cars pulled up, orders were taken, burgers were grilled. Classic American drive-in vibes. At the time, the brothers were just looking for something simple, a profitable small business, a better life, something of their own. But they noticed something odd. The drive-in business was chaotic. Customers waited too long. The menu was too big. Teenagers hung around all day, not always buying. And the kitchen? Total inefficiency. So in 1948, the McDonald brothers did something radical. They shut everything down and started over. They designed a kitchen like a factory. They slashed the menu to just 9 items. And they created the world's first speedy service system. One window, one cashier, one purpose: serve quality food fast. No more car hops, no more plates, no waiting. They reinvented how Americans ate. And they didn't even know it yet. A system that worked. By 1953, the brothers had a thriving business. Their little burger stand was pulling in real money, $200,000 a year, around $2 million today. They opened a few more locations in California and Arizona, and they started something new, franchising. But the brothers weren't empire builders. They were perfectionists. They believed in control, precision, consistency. They turned down dozens of requests from people wanting to franchise. Why? Because they didn't trust outsiders to run McDonald's their way. They believed that quality mattered more than quantity. And that decision to grow slowly might have saved the product, but it also set the stage for someone else to take control. Enter the salesman. 1954, a 52-year-old milkshake machine salesman named Ray Kroc walked into their restaurant. He was tired. He was broke. He was selling multi-mixers, machines that could make 5 milkshakes at once. One day, he noticed a single restaurant ordered 8 machines at once. 8 machines? That's 40 milkshakes at a time. For a single store, Ray drove across the country to see for himself. And when he arrived in San Bernardino, he saw something he'd never seen before. A crowd, smiling customers, speed, efficiency, systems, a fast food machine. Ray didn't just see burgers. He saw a franchise system that could scale across America. The pitch Kroc approached the brothers with a proposal. Let me franchise this. I'll be responsible. You keep control of the product. I'll handle the growth. They agreed. In 1955, Ray Kroc opened the first McDonald's franchise under the new McDonald's Corporation in Des Plaines, Illinois. He worked non-stop, cold calling potential owners, training staff, driving thousands of miles a week, selling the dream. But there was one massive problem. Kroc was only getting a fraction of a cent per burger sold. He wasn't getting rich. Meanwhile, the brothers were doing fine, collecting royalties. The problem, and the realization, Ray Kroc was expanding McDonald's fast. Too fast. By 1958, there were over 100 franchises. But there was one massive issue. He wasn't making any real money. His cut of each burger sold was less than 2 cents. And the brothers? They insisted on keeping control and keeping things small. No innovation, no new menu items. They were holding him back. Kroc had taken out loans, mortgaged his home, and was now deep in debt. Worse, the more successful he made the company, the more powerful the McDonald brothers became. He was building the empire. They were collecting the rent. And then he had an idea. The business model. No one saw coming. Kroc realized something crucial. He couldn't make real money from selling burgers. But what if he didn't just own the restaurants? What if he owned the land they were built on? Enter Franchise Realty Corporation, a separate company founded by Kroc that would buy up the land where new McDonald's restaurants would be built. Then he would sell that land to the franchisees and collect rent. Franchisees paid him for the right to open a McDonald's and then kept paying him forever to use the land. Brilliant. No more tiny royalties. No more waiting for burger sales. Just steady, scalable income. Suddenly, Ray Kroc wasn't in the food business anymore. He was in the real estate business. And nobody, not even the McDonald brothers, saw it coming. The takeover began. With this new model, Kroc finally had leverage. He could decide where new stores would open. He controlled who got approved. And most importantly, he owned the ground under the arches. He stopped asking for the brothers' permission. He stopped waiting on their slow decisions. Instead, he built. He franchised. He grew the empire. Fast. And the brothers? They watched from the sidelines, frustrated, confused, and increasingly left out. They still technically owned the name, but Kroc controlled the engine. And then came the final move. The buyout in 1961. Kroc offered to buy McDonald's from the brothers. All of it. They hesitated. It was their name, their creation, their vision. But they were tired. The business had become a beast. And Kroc was pushing harder than they could handle. So they agreed. The price? $2.7 million, enough for each brother to walk away with $1 million after taxes. It was a fair deal. Until one more thing came up. The brothers asked to keep their original San Bernardino location. Kroc agreed. But then, in an act still debated to this day, he opened a brand new McDonald's just 1 block away. Their original location, out of business in a year. The empire takes shape. With the brothers gone, Kroc had full control. He streamlined operations, expanded globally, standardized every system, and most importantly, he grew the real estate portfolio. Every new McDonald's meant more rent, more power, more control. The Franchise Realty Corporation, now part of McDonald's, became the engine. By 1970, real estate accounted for the majority of McDonald's revenue. And today, McDonald's owns over $40 billion worth of real estate, including some of the most valuable commercial locations in the world. They don't just sell burgers. They lease the land under thousands of restaurants across the globe. They don't just have franchisees. They have tenants, and they don't just serve lunch. They collect rent. What the brothers didn't know after the deal, Dick and Mac quietly retired. They got their money, they got out. But they didn't get royalties. They didn't get equity. They didn't get credit. Kroc erased them from the company's public history. He called himself the founder. He rewrote the story. Their contribution was buried. And while Kroc battles a billion-dollar empire, the brothers faded into obscurity. The men who invented the system lost it to the man who understood how to scale it. It wasn't fair, but it were business. The lesson. So what's the takeaway? McDonald's is not a burger company. It's a real estate empire with a food interface. Ray Kroc didn't just sell burgers, he sold consistency, control, location. He saw that owning the land was more powerful than owning the recipe. He understood that the biggest opportunities aren't always where people are looking. The McDonald brothers had the idea. Ray Kroc had the infrastructure. And the result? A $1 trillion empire, built not on beef, but on land.